Better late than never. She's here. What's the vibe? I couldn't do 2 weeks in a row without a what's the vibe. It's just been a timing thing, guys. And that's actually feels part of the vibe check. I'm going to unpack what I'm feeling about time because it's a real thing. How is it May today? It's gonna be May, May. Oh my God, I missed the whole point of singing it like that. It's the 1st of May. We have the Scorpio full moon. We've got Uranus well and truly in Gemini now. We're almost at the tail end of Mercury in Aries. Like another planet's going to be shifting out of Aries soon. And does anyone else feel like we're timeline jumping? That feels like the vibe for me right now. It's like I'm trying to catch time. If you're watching YouTube, I'm literally like grabbing at nothing. And that's how it feels. I mean, it depends how far down a rabbit hole of like time being a construct you want to go, although it's very Uranus and Gemini. So if that intrigues you, go off Queen. But it really does feel like time is becoming more stretchy and elusive, which is pretty cool. And also, I feel like the vibe right now is we're getting a handle on new rhythms of time. And with that, can almost feel like this sense of urgency meets forgetfulness meets rushing and feeling like we're running out of time, but it's actually not that. We're not running out of time. We're just learning to relate to time as a construct in a whole new way. Now, remember when I do these what's the vibe readings and tuning in, it's pure channel. So there will be some astrological influence that I can weave into this. And it does feel very Uranus and Gemini. It really does. If you're interested in like the whole deep unpacking of that massive transit, as Jules, my teacher said, my astrology teacher said, she believes it's the biggest transit of this year. And there are a lot of doozies. So that's saying something. Go and listen to Initiations. Jules released an epic episode on Uranus and Gemini around all of the flavors and undercurrents we can anticipate over the next 7 years. But I've been feeling this piece with time, and I mentioned it in a What's the Vibe a few weeks ago, and then Jules touched on it too. So it does feel like it's definitely being represented cosmically, but there just feels like this quickening of pace. And what's felt cool to observe is that I feel like as a collective, we're timeline jumping because a month ago, 2 months ago, 6 weeks ago, it felt very, very viscerally like there was a lot of impending collapse societally, like that looming feeling, that slow and do we need to be like prepping for a lockdown and like genuinely going out and, as I said, be prepared, but don't be scared. And I definitely stand by that. But what shifted in my own experience of time and my own experience over the last few weeks is it feels like we have collectively timeline jumped and that what could have been catastrophic, something has happened. It's so wild to me, but I'm like, divine intervention in some way has jumped us out of one reality and into another. And I don't think that means that we're necessarily in the clear when it comes to collective power play, governments, and their shady behaviors. But I do feel like as a collective, we're much more awake to them than we were 6 or 7 years ago. Let's be real, when Uranus was in Gemini. We're much more awake to them. And in that awakeness, we can shift outcomes as a collective. Like, as I'm speaking this out, it's like in 2020, a lot of the shadowy undercurrents of what was happening at a collective level became quite a personal experience, a personal battle in our own micro worlds and with our families and around what this meant for our communities. Whereas now that like blindfolds are off tenfold, hundredfold, it's almost like I just can see that we've time jumped. And so in that is like, well, what else can we do with time right now? We can bend it, we can play with it, we can rapidly manifest and create much quicker because we're seeing how quickly things and energy can bend and change. And so that could be a really fun thing to play with in the next kind of week and the next few weeks, how you can personally bend time. Like, where in your life are you being dictated by a deadline or a 5-year plan or just anything you have to do with the timing of something you're calling in? And how can you play with the bending of that time and just trusting in the collective or cosmic way of delivering something to you much quicker than anticipated in the positive? It's giving Outlander, it's giving time travel. This is where my head's going, and I haven't done any kind of like research or rabbit holing. But I'm like, are we gonna release the time travelers? Because tell you what, like I get the alien thing is very interesting, the alien thing, she says. But I'm much more interested in if there are time travelers out there. Like if you're listening to this and you've traveled time, can you just like let me know? Like, am I a traveler? You know what I mean? Like she's lost it. But this is how this Uranus and Gemini energy feels, is a whole new construct and understanding around time. How are we in May? I know I'm not the only one thinking that. It feels like last month was January. How are we almost halfway through this year? And so I guess the vibe check is, yeah, playing with time. And, you know, it's such a human construct, and energy doesn't work. Energy works better when we don't contain it and put like deadline on things and say it must happen in this timeline. What would happen if timelines collapsed in on themselves and we just like quickened everything, or slowed right down and savored each moment, because things are rapidly shifting and changing so quickly? Actually, that's a really interesting piece of the puzzle that's landing for me as I'm speaking this out, is like, what's counterintuitive to this energy of quickening time and urgency and rushing and needing to, it's actually slow down and be in the present moment, because in the present moment time is not a thing, because you are so in each moment. And I think that could actually be a really beautiful anchor, not just for the coming week but the coming months. And this transit in Uranus and Gemini is, be where your feet are. Noah Khan said that in his documentary, but it's so true. It's like, be where your feet are. Every morning the last week or so, when I've woken up and I've dropped into that 20-minute Dr. Joe Medi that I shared with you guys in the Solis group on Instagram, if you're wanting it, it's there, the link's there. There's a question that he asked, which is like, what is the highest expression of yourself you can be today? And this week it has been, be in presence. Like, it's not go out and do a thing or go out and make this thing happen or go and like manifest this thing. It's like, come into presence, come into present moment awareness, be where my feet are. It's very Taurus season energy. And we're in this beautiful, how good is Taurus season, guys? Like, favorite season. Like, I'm actually, as a Leo, willing to go on the record and say it's better than Leo season. There, I said it. It's the best season of them all. But Taurus is an earth sign, it's grounded. So we do have that in our favor right now, to practice presence and being where our feet are, being where our weighted blanket is, hands in the soil, planting seeds, kneading dough, like this medicine of simplicity that Taurus offers us is exactly the antidote to this quickening or shape shifting of time and timelines that we're experiencing. I'm sure I'm not the only one feeling this. Actually, I haven't spoken this out with anyone, so I'm curious to hear what you guys think. But then obviously it would be, I mean, I'm releasing this and the full moon is about to hit. As you guys know, the full moon lands in the sign that it's opposite of. So it's Taurus season, which means the full moon is in Scorpio. Yes, that's right. And so it's hitting peak, I think, at 3:30 a.m. Saturday morning, my time, like Australian Eastern Standard Time. And this Scorpio, we get scared of Scorpio, but man, do I love it. I mean, I think because I'm also a fixed sign. So Aquarians will love this energy, Scorpios, Leos, and Taurians. We're familiar with this energy. If you're have more of a mutable chart or a changeable chart, it likely will be a little bit more challenging. But Scorpio is the OG alchemist. Where Taurus loves stability and predictability, Scorpio's like, let's make some change happen. Let's burn it all to the ground. Let's start again. Let's rise like the phoenix. So just be wary. Not wary. It's actually not wary. I might eat my words, but I live for a Scorpio transit because it's kind of eclipse vibes. It's not chaotic, but it is destructive in ways that it's taking off the blindfolds to anything that we have been blinded to or we've turned a blind eye to. Just as I'm saying eye things, it's like check eye tests, check your eyes. Who's needing an eye test? It might be one of you, it might be a few of you. You're putting your eye test off. Go get your eyes tested. Or if there's that conjunctivitis coming up or like black eyes, for some reason, the eyes, because what are you refusing to see? Or what do you don't want to see? What are you turning away from? This moon will make you look at it. And that could be depending where the moon falls in your chart. So for me, it's my fifth house. It's around play and joy and romance and creation. And it's very fitting for me. I've got a new creative project I'm working on, which is so exciting. I can't wait to share more. Not in work as well. Actually, I've told you guys about Aphrodite's plate. Like that's perfectly this transit, but that's not what I'm referring to. Actually, got a few creative projects. Very full moon in Scorpio in my fifth house. It's like, oh, here are the left of field creative projects landing. Oh, we're going on a family holiday, joy and fun. We haven't had one in 2 years. Like this transit doesn't have to be dense and heavy depending on where it falls. So just pull your chart up, have a look at what house it falls in. You guys will know how to look at the flavors of the house by now. And that's likely going to be the themes that come up for you with this transit. But it is taking the blindfolds off. It is probably, there is an element of walking through the fire. But rather than being afraid of getting burned, like, guys, you're the alchemist. Just use the mantra, be where your feet are, face whatever arises head on, knowing that on the other side of this is the gold. The gift of Scorpio is the phoenix rising and not being afraid of the depth it presents us with, because depth is growth. And if you're listening to a podcast like this, it's kind of what we're in the game for, right? That is your vibe check for the week ahead. I'm sending you guys love. As I said that, I'm obviously going away on Monday, but I am going to still do an episode for Monday that will come out. And then maybe depending on the space I have, I don't want to make too many promises, but maybe I'll still be able to record a vibe check that's kind of like me just pulling some cards for next week. So I will do my best to do that for you guys as well. And then you will have the following Monday after that one of the fly on the wall psychic readings, and then I'll be back in your ears when I'm actually back in action. So wild, but enjoy your Friday. And also, if you guys are listening to this on Friday, tonight we're gathering in Heart Space Ceremony. I'm facilitating a beautiful full moon ceremony. We would love to have you in the membership, even if you only wanted to join for tonight and then cancel your membership. I mean, I don't know why you'd cancel because it's so beautiful in the space, but come join us. I'll pop the link in the show notes. It's $33 and you'd be able to join both of the ceremonies for this month, which we have one now and we have one at the end of May as well. And that's a beautiful opportunity for you to literally be where your feet are. So I hope I see some new faces in ceremony tonight. And regardless, I am sending you love for your weekend and I will be back in your ears on Monday.